Okay, you've now, if everything worked out, you now saw the video which showed you our students. I saw it, it was made, I think this week, and I saw my own students and I'm really proud of them. I just wanted to say that. But you're going to meet more students live here. Yeah, you there, they here. So there's a roundtable discussion here with my colleague Peter. And they will be talking about the day-to-day projects that the students are working on. This way you get an insight about how it feels to, what are you doing, is it something that you like, so you can see what we do here. Peter, the floor is yours. Yeah.
Well, Mieke, thank you very much. I'm sitting here indeed with 4 students, and we're going to discuss a little bit about the challenges we do and the way we use challenges to develop our business skills. But before we go and dig into the business challenges, I want to ask you, each of the 4 of you, to do a small introduction of yourself, a bit about your name, where you're from, and what did you bring you to Zuid.
Okay.
Yeah? Can I start with you?
Yeah. So my name is Edreli Gutom. I am the president of Enactus Zuid here, which is also one of the biggest student organizations. And I'm a business owner in the Philippines, and that's also the reason why I joined this course, to learn more about developing my business in the Philippines.
So hello everybody, I'm Carola. I'm from Italy, Sicily to be exactly. And yeah, the reason why I'm in the Netherlands is that because when I was 16, I had an exchange program of the duration of 10 months, and I've been to Turkey. So much fun. And after that, I've been traveling around Europe, and then I decided to do something internationally, so something related to the international environment. And I thought the Netherlands was a good option for me, so here I am.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey, I'm Raoul. I'm Dutch, but I'm living in Belgium. And I chose for international business because in high school I found out I really like business, economics, everything about it. And the international part really interests me, like going abroad, doing an exchange, on an internship at an international big company. So that's what I really liked. And therefore I chose to go to Maastricht because it's a city with a lot of students, international students, you meet new people, work on your network. And that's the main reason why I'm here in Maastricht at Zuid. Yeah.
Timothy.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Timothy Hansen. The reason why I came to the Netherlands is because I actually liked Maastricht a lot when I came to visit. And the reason why I'm doing international business is because I really have a passion for the study and also all the aspects of business itself.
Thank you, Timothy. Well, my name is Pieter Loef. I was introduced as a colleague of Mieke, but I feel me as much a colleague of these students as I feel a colleague of the teachers. I joined Zuid about a year ago, came straight out of business, and it's a great place to be because it's a place where I learn as much from my students as I hope the students are learning from me. And how we do that is by doing these business challenges. And so let's talk a little bit about business challenges. What are business challenges? Idwar, can you tell me a little bit what's your vision of a business challenge?
So for this course, for this block, we are researching a 10-year plan for Hulpener, the brewery more specifically. And what we get is we get a problem from the brew house itself, and that's what we have to solve basically. And during the business challenge, we'd have to find out what kind of problems they have, research the company and the chances that they have in the world, and the possibilities. And we do that in a team of 5. And in that team you have a specific function, and based on the function we work on that case.
Very nice. Raoul, you heard you're part of this team as well, of 5 people. What was your role and how did you experience that?
Yeah, I experienced it only in good ways because you're putting the theory into practice. you go into the business challenge with a mindset of solving a problem, thinking out of the box, using your creativity, and just solving a problem for the company, like Ido explained. So everybody gets a role. So it's like somebody does the management, somebody does the sales, pardon, and everybody is looking at it, giving feedback to each other, helping each other to learn more about it, and assessing each other first before the teacher will assess it. So you work in a group, but you also work individually on something.
That's very interesting what you're saying. So you say actually next to the teacher, you're a bit the teacher towards each other as well, right?
Yeah, so helping each other before the teacher will see your product.
And how did you experience that?
With me, it was kind of like the teamwork. You have to really work in a team, and you have to really work cohesively. So like somebody can't be doing like another thing. It all correlates together, and you have to work as one unit to reach the end goal. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's all the process.
I hear a lot about collaboration between the group, but you know, we are quite a different group here, different cultures, different backgrounds, probably different educational levels as well. So how does that collaboration work between you?
Difficult to say, difficult to say. We all speak English.
Right.
And we all have the same goal. So we all, some people want to receive the credits, but I personally, I want to create a paper, so a plan to really make a change. So that's what I do. And I try to pull people along with me, but sometimes it goes, sometimes it's not. It's part of the process, but you keep on learning each step of the way.
It's very nice, very nice. And people do it in different ways, right? And what we talked about, it's not only within the team, but it's also getting the customer very much involved in that. And I'm jumping over to Carola because she was not involved in this challenge, but in an earlier challenge with the Gulpener company. And how did you involve the customer in that process? Can you explain that a little bit better?
All right, let's go first in how did we came up with this challenge, maybe.
Right.
So we were discussing with Peter and another student about the possibility to create this business, and that could pop up somewhere else in the world. So we were thinking, why not transporting a business that's in the Netherlands and put it in somewhere, for example, in Singapore. And we proposed this to the clients, Gulpener, which is a brewery. It's a brewery where they make the beers. And so we proposed this to our customer, this idea, and they thought, well, it's not something that we had in mind, but if you succeed with that, we might think about it. So that's how we start, and then after that, we try to start with all the process. So how should we implement this kind of idea somewhere else in the world? And then with a lot of consultation with our customers, for example, we try to understand what was their values, what were their main objectives, what were their main mission and vision of the company itself. And then we wanted to keep that and to transported in Singapore in this case.
But that's very interesting because if you talk about the brewery, the Gulpener Brewery, it's a very local and very locally focused organization. So taking that concept to a completely different place in the world, yes, like Singapore, how did the owners react to that idea?
Yeah, they thought we were a little bit out of our mind, I guess, because nobody proposed something like this to them before, but they liked the idea a lot because they were thinking to expand their business as well, but they wanted to stay, as you said, local. They wanted to, because one of their main values is to announce and to make special all the products that they have all around. So their raw materials, they use local sources like water or the main basics for making the beers from the Limburg area. So one of those objects were also ours. We wanted to incorporate that into our Hulpener projects into Singapore as well.
Very nice. And you know, I have been at the final presentation, and I know that the owner, Jan Paul and Paul, were very excited about the way you presented your ideas, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was very interesting. So it was not only about doing what the customer asked, but also challenging the customer a little bit about thinking in a different way to their own business.
Exactly.
So if we look a little bit more to the future, because you know we're talking now about this challenging for the Hulpener Brewery, which was great, but if we look a little bit more to the future and future business challenges, how does that work for you guys? You know, are you able to find your own challenges, or do you get all your challenges from school?
Well, personally, what I find interesting about this kind of program is that there is a lot of self-discovery. So whatever you feel like interested into something, might be marketing, might be sales, might be, I don't know, e-commerce or something else, you start from that point, and then you build up your own challenge with your community. So you ask around to the other students what they are good into, and you ask for feedback, and you ask for insights, and that's how you start the first steps for your own challenge.
Very nice. And Idroy, how is that for you right now? What will be your next challenge? You know that already, or not?
For next block, we had to choose our own company, so we had to find our company ourselves. So we did that by posting on LinkedIn if any company needed help internally or externally with changes that they wanted. So for next block, we have one.
Can you tell what kind of company and what's the challenge you're facing it?
So the challenge that they are facing is, they want to be able to change in difficult times, such as now, actually. So they want to be more fluid in their business processes, and that's something that we are going to tackle next block. But we are also going to focus on sales, since that's what next block is most about. So we'll be looking at how are we going to increase sales in that company, and what needs to be changed in that company. So to do that, we'll do an internal analysis. So we'll see what does the company have, or what can be improved in the company. And then based on that, we'll be making our suggestions for the company.
Very nice, very nice. And Roel, you also have already a company in mind, or?
Yes, we also found a company. It's a supply chain company that mainly work on supply chain, and now they found a new system or technique how to do it. And we need to, we are going to find a way to put it into the market, in which market they best could do it, what's the best way to increase the sales of this product, to make the best sales they could possibly get.
Right.
So
we're talking about, as I remember well, it's a software application for managing supply chains. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And that's a new, let's say, a new version or a new application they want to put in the market.
Yes, it's a new way of doing supply chain, I guess. That's what we first look at it internally. So what are the good points, the bad points, what they could change to make it even better, and what the customer is looking for, how to market it, how to put it into sales, what's the best way of doing this.
What I feel so interesting if I hear you talking, even though officially the block has not started yet, you already have done quite some research about the companies and what their issues are and how to potentially tackle the issues, right?
Yes,
even before the classes start, you already started to do some work around it. And Timothy, can you tell a little bit about your challenge? You have already a challenge in mind or a clear focus what you want to do?
So we haven't found a company yet, but what has been motivating me for this year is trying to apply new technologies to challenges. So like AI, blockchain, and machine learning, and how can we apply these new technologies that are coming up and implement them into the companies that we're having challenges about?
Right. Well, you know, this is very close to my heart as well. So using, let's say, disruptive technology and how that will change business in the future, I think that's a key element. And I think that's also a thing which I like very much of this type of education, because it talks about these 21st century skills. Really is the skills you need to require to be successful in that new business environment. You agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Good. So if we look to the future, and there are some questions coming in, I believe. So, Timothy, can I give you this?
Okay. How is working with real companies?
How is it working with real companies? Who wants to answer that?
Annie?
Yeah, it feels very, I don't know, you feel important, you feel like you matter, that from a student, because you're just a student actually, but you are together talking and dealing with important people that have already got a position in their life, and pretty good one. So you feel like you are professional, and that's pretty cool. That's what I like about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Professional. So, like a consultant, you are acting within that company
Exactly.
and being appreciated that way, right?
For sure.
How do you see that?
Yeah, I'm more like working with a real company instead of a case in a book. Because with a real company, you can ask them questions, they can answer you, and you can present what you found, your end product. You can really present it to the company, and they benefit from it. That's the nice point. What I found nice about it.
Very good. Well, for you, it's very special, right? Because you already have more or less your own company.
Yeah.
So how is it to have your own company while working also with other companies?
So what I find really amazing about this is that you can grow your network by meeting more professionals and seeing how they organize their company. So with that, I can also learn how I should do my company and talk with the professionals in that field and the problems that they faced, for example, and yeah.
So networking and benchmarking your ways of working
Yeah.
compared to other ways of working, is that really the value which it brings this education for you?
Yeah, for me, it's also learning how bigger companies work. Since I'm still a small skilled company, but
Right.
if I want to expand in the future, how should I place my company in the market? How should I be internally, and how do other companies do it?
Right,
That's for me
okay.
the best.
Okay. Timothy, do you want to respond to that, or you want to move on to the next question?
It's interesting working with real companies. It feels like when you finish each assignment, it feels like you're actually changing something within the company, no matter how small it is, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
So let me move on to the next question.
Sure.
So I don't know who asked this, but how do you find a business challenge?
So how did you find the business challenge?
Yeah, just as I said before, you really have to see what you really like, and then also with the community, you see what other people's skills are, and you ask around what I can start, how can I start, and why should I start? So that's the main first step.
Ron?
Yeah, really find a topic you want to learn more about, like marketing, for example. Then you go like Carola explained, you go to your fellow students, ask them around what do they think, what do they want to learn this block. Then you go to the teacher or to a colleague, and you find a company, and you find problems. You make a problem statement and think about what the company could do better. Like that it goes, but it goes really easily.
What I hear you both saying is you're not going to only ask something from the company, you're also going to seriously bring something to the company, right? You did quite some preparation going in, so you already are a little bit of a equal conversation partner within that company, right? Do you experience that as well, Timothy?
Interesting. Yes, Yes, actually, because you have we get to send questions to a point person in the company. We get proper responses, and the people inside of the company are as enthusiastic as we are to make these changes happen. So it's nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
We have a third question, right?
Yes.
I think we should.
How international are the challenges we work on?
How international are they? Well, if we talked about Gulpen, we already had a nice example, but I'm looking a little bit to the time. Are we still able to answer that question?
Correct.
No, so
No.
we freeze that and
Too
we
bad.
will bring that on to the Q&A session, right? Okay,
Alright.
thank you.